Hello, everybody. Welcome. My name's Russell Williams. I'm the Business School Director of Education at the University of Aberdeen. Today, I'm going to be in conversation with one of our graduates. I'm pleased to welcome to the webinar Mengmeng Li. Mengmeng graduated in 2025 with her MSc. She now lives and works in Edinburgh. We can perhaps discover a little bit more about that later on in the webinar. So we're going to have an in-conversation session, quite a casual session, and I'm hoping that through our conversation you can discover and learn a little bit more about what's it like to come to Aberdeen and what's it like to live in the city and study at the university and graduate with an MSc degree. So I think we'll begin. We'll just remove the main slide. Okay, here we are. So we're full screen now. Hi, Meng. Thank you very much for joining us. You're in Edinburgh today, which is about, I think, probably about a 2-hour trip on the train from Aberdeen, a little bit further in the car. But you now live and work in Edinburgh, and I'm sitting here in my office in Aberdeen. So it's a pleasure to have you with us. I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning, if I may. You were in China and you were looking to study abroad. What attracted you to the University of Aberdeen? What was attractive about coming to Aberdeen? Let's start with that question.
Yeah, sure. When I first time choose to go abroad, I will think about a lot of cities like US, like like the UK, like Hong Kong, like many like international big city. But when I like distinguish of this city, my first option in my mind is must be UK. And also, when I was a child, I watched a lot of like how UK good study quality, and that impressed me to study in the UK. And I also choose to Aberdeen is a very interesting option. As we all know, as our like post-graduation students will apply a lot of like school. So the first one give me like offer is University of Aberdeen. So I think it's a really romantic link with Aberdeen. And first of all, I even don't know Aberdeen, this city. I even don't know it's belong to like in Scotland. But when I search in Google and trying to learn more about Aberdeen, it's a quiet city and the people here are very friendly and it's really local Scotland city. And I must have a very interested year studying here.
Yeah. I mean, it's true, actually, you know, the United Kingdom is, as you discover, it's actually made up of England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Yeah. And they're all parts of the United Kingdom. We just happen to be in the northern part of the United Kingdom. I'm not from Aberdeen and I'm not from Scotland either, but what would you say? I think, you know, I've worked at about 6 different cities in the UK, and I often think that Scotland and Aberdeen is a very beautiful city in a way. It's green, the air's fresh, it's very safe. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I have the same like inspiration with you, because I'm from the north of China, and the weather here also like cloudy and green all the time. And at that time I thought maybe I come to Aberdeen, it's not hard for me to like experience this. And when that day I came here, the first impression for me is the sky very blue. Oh, the weather and the air here, it's very fresh, and it makes me calm down. I can like have more time to enjoy my own life, enjoy my study life. It makes me feel more calm and peaceful.
Yeah. I think the environment's quite important. I'm going to just tell the people on the webinar that Aberdeen is by the sea. And you can walk from the university to the seaside or the beach front, the promenade, in probably about half an hour. Did you go to the beach much while you were here? And
Of course. Um, I I choose to like live with the beach only 30 minutes walk.
yeah,
It's the best option I have made. I very enjoy like when I get back got back from school and I will stay at home a little bit and I will go walk to the sea and just random choose a chair and sit down to just look at the sea and listen some music. It
yeah,
can help me remove a lot of not good things from my hand and remove my like not happy things. And then I will go back and focus on my things. It's a
yeah.
peaceful place.
It's a peaceful place. I mean, walking, I think, and having this environment, I think it's important to, process lots of information that's in your brain,
Yeah,
think about things, plan, and have breaks away from desks and libraries are important in,
definitely.
your well-being and you being successful over the year. I think that's really important. Okay, so you arrived in Aberdeen. What do you think was the most challenging thing when you arrived? Maybe we'll keep it maybe about living because you've traveled several thousand miles, you've arrived in a new country. What was challenging and what was surprising, and how did you deal with those things?
Yeah. Um, before I came to UK, I saw a lot of news about is the security. Um, so when I arrived here, I'm very afraid to go outside at the midnight, like after 8 p.m. I'm a little bit free about it. Um, mm, and then and then I trying to like make some friends, and they will invite me to go pub or have some drinks after study. And that time I feel it's not security problem. It's just the people want to enjoy their like nightlife and they are be trying to like to over sometimes because they're drunk.
Hmm.
It can understand. I can understand it. I think it must be some cultural problem to cause some misunderstanding between us.
Hmm. Yeah, but I think generally, are you left with the impression, because I get, when you look at the media, you often think that places are, they have security issues and they're not
Yeah,
safe. But when, you live in Scotland now, do you feel it's a safe environment, very safe environment to live in?
it's very safety. Even you go to pub after midnight, they have security at the door, and also people very like friendly. They just focus on their drinks and focus on their football games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fo- Football is very important in the United Kingdom, so that's really, really important. So, let's talk a little bit about study. How did you find your study? Was it challenging or difficult to start with? Well, what was difficult or challenging, and how did that progress as you went a little bit further and you sort of spent a bit more time in class? What was challenging and how did you deal with it?
yeah. I think for me the most challenging is like discussion with our classmates because for like a lot of post graduation study is need like group work and in China before we just focused on our study and just finish by ourselves. But when we study in UK, the professor will like always let some random people sitting together and have some same task. And first time you need to know each other, right? You need to like trust, let them trust you, and you trust them. You guys can and talk very well, and then can make a good task. It's a big challenge, but I think it's very important because in our work we need to work with other people. We need a conversation, so it helps me a lot. It helps
Yeah.
me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and I know the job that you do now, and a lot of your job is interacting with lots and lots of people. Some of them are British because you're working in the tourism industry in Edinburgh, and some of them are from all over the world. So having confidence to talk and interact with many, many different people, it's a really important skill. I think. Actually, whatever industry you're in, doesn't matter whether you're in tourism or anything. So that's good. So you became sort of, do you think you've become a more confident person?
Yeah, absolutely. Like 1 year before, I'm not look like this. I will feel threatened to talk with people. I even don't like look at people's eyes, and I will try to avoid to have conversation. I just prefer like you let me do one thing, I just do, and don't talk with me like anything, any other small talk. Don't do that. But it's not works. I figured it out. The small talk is like you take care of their feeling at that day. You take care about somebody and look somebody as it shows your respect of somebody.
Yeah.
It's teach me a lot now.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, I think, when I'm a faculty member, and when you what we want our students to do, our postgraduate students, we want them to gain subject knowledge, to know about something like marketing. But knowing about something in marketing is only going to get you so far. You have to be able to explain it to other people, work with team members. So you have to be able to interact and communicate with supervisors, managers, subordinates, team members, customers, clients. So that's a big thing about the university. It's not just about the knowledge of marketing. It's about how you're going to be able to operationalize that through other people and with other people. And a lot of the classes are designed to be interactive in that way. And that's it. So it's good that, you've seen the benefit of that. And of course, I think it can be difficult to start with when you maybe you think you don't have the skills, and you think other people have the skills.
Mm-hmm.
But once the classroom is a place to develop this in a safe environment. So that's kind of our sort of maxim or way of operating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what about marketing? You did do marketing and you focused on tourism. What sort of things what's your lasting memories about what you learned about marketing?
For me, like marketing, everybody will check their phone every day, and the advertisement or some like short videos is the marketing process, one of marketing process. In my mind is like, for example, for in my like in my company, it's a whiskey company, and they need attracted people to come here, right? They need to show what they can offer to customer, what is their like strength. For example, we have culture. We can teach you what a whiskey is, what the 5 regional in Scottish whiskey.
Yeah.
Like a lot of American tourists will come here and ask question like, the whiskey it means Scotch whiskey, right? It's no other like it's not like the other whiskey. So when we talk about whiskey, it's Scotch whiskey. Is that right?
Yeah.
See, this is the marketing and the cultural impression to people. Let them know what it is, and let them know real culture, real thing it is. It's powerful.
Yeah, I mean, you're selling an experience as well as, the drink whiskey, the alcoholic beverage whiskey. You're selling an experience and a heritage and a history about Scotland. And of course, Scottish whiskey is here. Of course, we say it's the best whiskey. It's better than, Irish whiskey or American versions of whiskey kind of thing. So it's an industry. It's a really big industry in Scotland as well, whiskey. And tourism as well, particularly, is very big for the diaspora of people that went and left Scotland and families have grown up in other parts of the world. What did you write your dissertation on? I'm just curious. You did a dissertation at the end of your study. What was the topic and what did you investigate?
Yeah, I did my dissertation topic is talk about AI vs customer service, like that.
Okay.
My topic is talk about for now a lot of people will choose go abroad to have some beauty medical. For example, in Korea, they are famous about their beauty skills. A lot of people were trying to like get beauty when they travel to Korea.
Yeah.
And the biggest challenge for them is the language barriers. A lot of people don't know how to speak Korea, and they are afraid they will meet some not good doctor, and maybe they will check their money or cheating them. So some people will prefer to choose like to find a translation, like find a if it's Chinese, they will prefer trying to find a Chinese translation to help them. But it also cause problem because how did you know this Chinese translation not charge the hospital money and to help you do some not good treatment?
Yeah. Yeah.
But now another way is AI. AI like develop a lot. You can use AI like stand it. What do you want to say? What do you want to told you doctor? Sorry, told you doctor.
It's okay.
So I just distinguish about people prefer to choose AI or people prefer to choose like translation, real people translation to help them to do this medical tourism in the medical tourism.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting, medical tourism. And of course, AI is influencing lots and lots of different aspects of marketing and consumer behavior. And actually, lots of students take a dissertation, and I'm just at the moment organizing some of our current students, and I'm being emailed by a few about AI topics. So it's very contemporary issue for businesses, actually, about is AI suitable for content creation? Is AI suitable as performing a service operative function, a bit like a chat function or translation function? And we also have people here looking at things like AI influencers. How do they compare to human influencers? Actually, it's becoming a bit tricky for us to tell them apart sometimes now. So, so that's interesting what you studied, and you put some of your learning into a specific context of something like the medical tourism industry. That's really interesting. What sort of because people will be curious about, you have your lectures and you have your seminars. The seminars are kind of like you were discussing, where it's group work and discussions and activities. What sort of assessments did you do? How were the courses assessed on the marketing courses that you did?
Like for example, like
I think, did you do a course in marketing management,
yeah,
consumer behavior? I'm just curious, how did the faculty assess your work? What sort of assignments or other things did you do?
Like marketing, how marketing works in my work. Let me think about it. Marketing.
Were they assignments, presentations, reports? What was the format of the assessment that you used or experienced?
Could you give me like an example? Like,
I'm just thinking. Were there any exams on your program, or was it all coursework?
Both.
It's
both.
Yeah. And what sort of courseworks did you have to give? Presentations or write essays or assignments?
Yeah, I did a presentation and also assignments.
Yeah. Okay. So let's move on, because I think the important thing is also about, people come to study a master's level qualification, and of course the big thing is about getting a job at the end of it. Master's is going to give you a higher degree, but also, and it's going to give you the skills. But how do you go about getting a job? How did you get your job that you have now after you studied your program?
Yeah. First of all, I don't know how to design my CV at first. only in my hand I have its Chinese version one. So at that time, I'm still in Aberdeen, and I contacted with my professor, and she recommended me to like experience some career support and some career events like that. And when I got there, I found, wow, University of Aberdeen actually offer us a lot of convenience process, help us to how to find, like they will like submit a lot of job opportunity in website. Also they will offer like help students create a real UK CV.
Mm.
And I just at that career event I found a teacher, and she sat down at the corner, and they have advertisement on the poster. It's like help CV, help how to identify CV like this, and I inquire and find her give me a lot of suggestions about my CV problem, and it's very helpful when I come back home and I figure it out one by one and design it. Actually, the first version maybe it's not works for every job. So when you find you really want this job, you need like identify each description of your job and one by one and trying to find your like strength to fit them.
Yeah.
I just did this process like 50 times. Like at that time it's really not a good memory, but it helped me a lot. When I wake up, I just identify my CV. When I find a job maybe suitable for me, I just identify it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think people have the impression that you have a CV, but the idea now is that you need a CV adjusted, adapted for each different job, just to make sure it fits properly. And then sometimes, of course, you have to write a covering letter as well, and you need to make sure that it's adjustment. So yeah, with the careers service are very helpful, and it's good that you went and used the careers service to help you do that. They also, I think they also give you some practice interviews if you want them, and some other tests as well. Where did you find out about the job that you applied for? Was it on one of the mailing lists that the careers service had, or did you see it advertised somewhere? Where was the job posted?
It's posted in LinkedIn. It's posted in LinkedIn. I download a lot of like LinkedIn, Indeed, and also the school career website.
Yeah,
like a lot.
Yeah, and how was it? A face-to-face interview to start with, or a telephone interview? How was the interview process?
They first of all, we sent me a message about they're interested with my CV and want to talk with me, and we have an online interview at the first time, and it's like 15 minutes. It's quite long, 15 minutes, and then when I waiting the feedback the second day, the HR sent me a message about am I interested to go there on board like office to have the second interview, and then we choose a time and I got there. Also have like 50 interviews, and then with like 2 days I received my offer.
Very good. Yeah. So I mean that's quite normal, isn't it? In the UK you have if you get through the screening, you have a telephone interview, and then usually you would have a face-to-face interview. So that's really good. And it's and how do you think? I mean, I'm just curious now. Do you think interviews in the UK are very similar to interviews in China, or do you think they're very different?
Oh, it actually is quite similar. It's quite similar.
Yeah. So that's good.
But for the UK, maybe they will look more focus on your personality. Like, are you this guy, fit our like company culture or not.
Yeah.
They will more
Yeah.
focus on this.
Yeah, the fitting in the organization. And I think perhaps in your role as well, they want to make sure that you're good at interacting with people, customers as well.
Yeah.
But I often say to students, because I interact with lots of postgraduate students, that you should be confident because you've shown a level of confidence by traveling several thousand miles to a different place to study. And if you go through all of the study and come out at the end with your master's, and you've made yourself available for all the opportunities, and that's a big strong endorsement of your character and your capability. If you can go to the UK, survive, prosper, even enjoy it, you should be able to go anywhere in the future. And
yeah, my professor said the similar sentence for me. Yeah, before.
Yeah. So you should be, confident in your own abilities when you come out at the end with your master's qualification.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So let's sort of wrap it up. What do you think? I'm trying to think about how we can wrap it up for people that are going to watch the webinar. What's your recommendation about studying in Aberdeen or coming to Scotland and studying in Aberdeen University?
First of all, I want to recommend everybody go to Scotland to study because I really love this city. Whatever in Aberdeen, Glasgow, or Edinburgh, Aberdeen is the best place because first of all, it will not let you spend a lot of money. It saves money. And second one, the people here is really friendly.
Yeah.
And they're happy to help you everything. You just need open your mind, like trying to like know their culture and like learn a lot of things from them. And you can also teach something from them. They will very happy to be your friends with you.
Yeah.
And then don't afraid to ask for help, like to ask for your professional help or teacher help. Or if you feel not happy at the beginning, feel more confused about something, just go to school, ask for some physical help or something else. Because you already like spend a lot of money, you need use of it. And they also happy to know like a Chinese students come to ask me for help. They will know more about us and we can like more in process. They'll know each other. It's a good thing.
Exactly. I think, learning is a two-way thing as well. So, and yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we think anyway, I mean, I've worked in different places around the planet, and the relationship between faculty and students in some of the countries I've worked in has been very hierarchical. Students don't think that they can approach a member of staff. But I think here in the UK, when you get to postgraduate level study, we treat you more, you are an adult really, and learning, you're here for voluntary reasons and to develop yourself, and the faculty member is there to help you. And I think you can pretty much, treat them as somebody who's going to be a resource to help you get to where you want to be. That's, I think, the perspective I would say. Anyway, okay. Jane, Mengmeng, it's been lovely to talk to you today. Thank you very much for giving up your time. What people don't know who are listening to the webinar or watching the webinar is the sun is bright blue today, and it's a lovely, lovely day outside in Scotland. So I'm probably going to collect my wife from her work, and we're probably going to go and walk our dog at the beach.
Please.
So, yeah, that will be our job for this afternoon. So hopefully your day's over as well, and you'll be able to go out for a walk and enjoy Edinburgh.
The sunshine. Yeah, I will go out to join sunshine too.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Jane. Been lovely to talk to you.
Thank you. Lovely to talk to you too.